Good morning, y'all. All right, so here is the Space Harrier, and already done some work to it. Just checked the power supply, tightened up the connections there. Saw the previous video on that fixed a number of the problems. Occam's razor, always constantly reminding myself of that. Got it covered up now, but what I've also have done is I've got the marquee working. New bulb, new starter. Pretty sure the ballast is okay, although it's slow to come on even with the new starter and the new bulb, but it is working. Let me show you the bezel here. The monitor bezel. One piece, and this also serves as the bracket for the marquee. This is hard to find. This thing is rare, and this one is in good shape. It's got a couple little chips on it. Usually these are full of cigarette burns from the 80s and people playing for hours on end, leaned over them. It's in good shape. So here this is. Went ahead, got this off. And what I'm going to be doing next, I don't know if you can see from here, but the control panel here is held on by a couple of security bolts. I've got the correct, what would it be? The correct security bolt, the specific attachments needed for a nut driver to get those out. I'll be getting those out. This comes down. It's on a hinge underneath the control panel. Then I can get the glass out. Then I can get the secondary bezel out around the monitor. And then this 7000 monitor has got to come out through the front. It cannot come out from the back. The back, it is too narrow. There's no space to get to it. You can barely even adjust the monitor from the rear because of the way the cabinet is. I'll show you in a second. But I'll be taking the monitor out through the front and then prepping it for recap and getting a new flyback. And there's just a little bit of bleed in it. I'll show you in a second. Here is the marquee. Looks fantastic. It looks like this thing last time it had some sort of I don't know what would it be, some sort of license for tax, some sort of tax stamp put on it for monetization. Was 92.93. So that was a while ago. This thing has been in home use for a long time. It's a true survivor. It's very, very cool. But yeah, let's take a look at the back. And let's also take a look at where the monitor is going to be coming out. So this is the back. You can see this does not remove this panel here, and you can get through here to do some adjustments on the monitor to get to the pots. But that's a 7000 monitor. I can tell by just looking at it, but that is not coming out. not through the back, so it has to come out through the front. All right, so got to take everything out, and you know that's not uncommon for a number of games. It's a pain, but that's okay. Again, taking everything out, going to service the monitor. Let me show you the bleed that is typical from bad caps. Worn out capacitors on the PCB. Get this plugged in. On the PCB, on the monitor chassis, the chassis PCB. Let's see if this thing will fire up first thing in the morning. You can hear the marquee trying to cut on, and it will. It's going, there it goes. All right, let's see if I can catch the bleed on here. This is a good example of a monitor that needs to be recapped. See how slow it is to come on as well? Needs a new flyback. But you see here around the stage one, insert coin. I don't know if you can catch it. See how that's bleeding over? Here. Also a little darker on the left side. That's all flyback and caps. So it is time for this monitor to be serviced. This thing is going to be an absolute looker when it's done. I mean, it already is, but I'm talking about the colors on the screen, the brightness, the vividness of everything. You see the bleed through there. That's all caps. So that's where we are with the Space Harrier. As far as projects go, this thing's a dream. Boy, I better knock on wood. It hasn't thrown me any major curveballs yet, but I tell you, as of right now, this thing is about as straightforward as it gets. There's no major restoration stuff, and I'm not really interested in big restorations. I look for pretty straightforward projects, and that's exactly what this is. Talk about lucking out. This was a pick. This was a fantastic pick, a score. And picked this, and man, I just could not be happier with it. So stay tuned. We're gonna keep this thing going. We are gonna get it cleaned up. You can see the side art and everything. I mean, it's dirty. A little chip there. It's dirty, but this is in fantastic shape. I mean, a true survivor. Here's the board. Switching power supply. Booted up first thing this morning, no problem. The sound is great. I mean, it is awesome. My brother and I played it last night, Christmas night. And got through, I think, halfway through the game before we said, okay, it's cold, we're going to call it a night. But yeah, this is where we are with it. Stay tuned.